Do you have all the things they say should make you happy, but you still feel unfulfilled? Are you always doing what you should do? Or do you never feel like you're enough? And you want to feel better, more fulfilled, more aligned, and more comfortable in your own body? Then this is the show. Scared as fuck and doing it anyway, showing up authentically. My name is Paula Schuster, and I'm a self-love and authenticity coach. My life completely changed when I started loving myself again, putting myself first, and being true to me. This is the show that's going to help you get out of being stuck, out of the cycles of self-abandonment, and help you choose yourself without feeling selfish. It will give you not only inspiration, but awareness, courage, and insights to make changes and live your life for you. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Scared as Fuck and Doing It Anyway, Showing Up Authentically podcast. I'm your host, Paula Schuster, and I decided to come on for a very short addendum to my last episode about moving away from my kids, because after recording that episode, I realized that maybe I left some things out, especially when talking about my daughter. So here I am. And who knows, like there may be even more after this, it may become an ongoing conversation. We'll see. But I just want to acknowledge that I know that this is an especially hard time for Riley. She just finished her first year of college, which was 3 hours away. And, with that, she experienced so much change, moving out and being on her own, dealing with, a demanding load of classes, having to say no to some of the things that she wants because she had to put money towards school, being away from home and from most of her friends, and, she had to deal with having some disagreements with her bestie, who's her person at school, and even more than that. And with all that change, she just wants some stuff in her life to stay the same, because so much change in a short period of time is hard, especially for someone her age. And, I feel for her, because it can also just be a scary thing and a scary time when you're in that period in life when you're breaking away from your parents and going off on your own. It wasn't necessarily a scary time for me, when I was going through it, but, I acknowledge and recognize that she had a very different experience than I did growing up. And so I think it's scary and hard for her, even if she doesn't recognize that it is, that even if she doesn't recognize that that's part of what's playing a role here. So yeah, and I'm, also the stable parent in her life. I talked about her dad in the last episode, and he's always been like that. You never know what you're going to get with him. And being the stable parent, she just wants me to be physically near her, for what she says is 1 more year. And that's because that's when she plans on trying to get her own place in 1 more year. And, so I understand where she's coming from. And even though I understand where she's coming from and I feel for her and all of that, I'm still choosing, differently. And honestly, I haven't always been this way, this strong, if that's the word. I never thought I would be moving away from my kids, to be honest. I mean, I've always been so attached to them, to the point where it wasn't healthy. I mean, speaking in terms of the codependency that I used to have with them, and that I do still have sometimes. That's what I mean by unhealthy. And that was a very, strong attachment. But, I know that they're good, they are strong. They both have good heads on their shoulders. I believe in them. I know they have it in them to take care of themselves and do the right thing. And I know I taught them, all the things that I know, and some of that's good and some of it's bad, because some of it came from my conditioned self. And I know that they can call me when they need me, and I will be right there. I keep reassuring Riley, and both of them really, that I'm always here for her. And I always will be. Always. Like there are no exceptions. I'll come back for the bigger things, like moving her back into her apartment at school when the next school year starts. And I'll come back for Caleb's high school graduation next year. And I'll come back and for other things, and if either of them really needs me, I will be here. And, I think I mentioned I'll be flying them out for visits too. And secretly, my hope is that they both learn to like it so much where we are that they move to us. And I'm hoping that happens for Riley next year. We'll see. But I took her in my arms the other day and gave her a big hug and just held her and told her that she will always be my baby. That I know it's time for her to live her own life and make her own decisions. But no matter how old she is, she will always be my baby and my first real love. I'm not going away, and I'm just moving to another state. And I reminded her of how capable she is and that she can do anything. And this experience will help show her that. And I think I mentioned too in my last episode that, she's going to be staying at my sister's house, her auntie, and they went out to lunch the other day and Riley loved their conversation a lot. I have a feeling that she was validated by my sister in a way that maybe she feels I haven't done for her. And so I'm glad for that. And I actually think it maybe made her start to look forward to living there with her, even though, it might not be for that long during the summertime anyway, because, by the time we close on the sale of our house, there'll only be a month or so, maybe less, before it's time for her to move back up to college. But I think she's starting to look forward to it just a little. Or maybe I'm just hoping. So yeah, I think that's mostly the extra context that I wanted to share. That and, by making this decision and by making this move, I'm trying to teach her to stop living in her conditioning by not living in mine, by being the example. And this is the work, the unlearning, the doing things differently, the going against the bullshit that we've been taught that's supposedly the right way. And I'm using air quotes when I say right way. I no longer want to be the woman that I was taught to be, in servitude to others, doing what I should do or what I'm supposed to do, being the good girl, doing what society tells me is normal or traditional. Because I did that for fucking years and it didn't work. And I need to show her a different way. And I want to be the woman that I'm becoming, the type of woman who lives from my soul, the type of woman who lets my full radiance, my magic, my full clarity and confidence come through. The woman who might be scared as fuck, but is doing it anyway, forging my path. My way, with a take no shit vibe while still spreading love everywhere. The woman who takes chances and believes in possibilities and that we're supposed to take leaps so the universe can deliver all the support we need and all the best stuff that we're dreaming of. And I want my kids to see that woman and how she lives her life, so they know what's possible for them. So that's it. It was short. Thanks for listening. I'll see you on the other side of this big jump. Love ya.